Hey everybody, welcome back again to the Premium Spotlight once again with Rosgreaves Gaming, and today we have another premium that was added to the tech tree. This is the Tier 8 Russian battleship Lenin. This is a project that apparently the Russians were doing during the communist times after, their revolution and stuff. They were planning on making a lot of project ships. This was a project in question they were working on. Unfortunately, this project was never completed. However, the project was saved, and thanks to Wargaming and their hard work, they were able to get their hands on actually making this a premium you can get your hands on. So the Tier 8 Lenin. Now, as the title goes, it's better Nelson? Absolutely. So let's go over the actual text tree and the health and everything in between and go over it. So the first things first, you get a health pool of 63,200 without survivability expert, a torpedo damage reduction of 22%. Doesn't sound too terrible. Artillery, we have again the 406mm guns. These are Russian Type 45, 1915 model guns. The same you get on the Tier 8 Vladivostok. You get dual purpose 100mm and dual purpose 152s on this. So again, pretty good plethora of guns. But if remember guys, as I said before, like a Nelson, you got a couple of these main battery guns sitting on the sides and the semi-backish of the deck. So yes, you get that kind of unique style. A defense, again the that's actually, there we go. We had 37mm. We have V11s. There's 10 duals. We have 37 46Ks, which are 8 quad 37mm, and then the dual purpose 100mm guns on this ship. The ones in question you're talking about are these back guns here. These are dual purpose main battery and artillery guns. These guns here on the sides are not, so that out of the way. Let's get to the next part. Maneuverability, we have a speed of 29.9 knots. Without speed flag, it's different. 840 meters. Rudder shift at 10.8 seconds. Well, of course, it changes. And concealment, if you do a full concealment buff, it is 13.1. Now, initial thoughts of this ship when I first got it was pretty okay-ish until I started playing with this ship and getting a couple more experience. As you notice with the amount of experience on the ship already at 222,000 experience. Yeah, it's a little broken. Yeah, this ship is actually pretty nasty for a premium. This is excellent for anybody who's going to be working on getting their Russian battleships that are coming out very soon, and is working on getting their experience for getting their own Russian commander designed for the Tier 10 Kreml that's going to be coming out, the broken battleship on the way. So let's go over why I'm talking about. First things first, I put this on the water map, oceans, so we actually get a good view. If you notice, yes, you have 32 on the top, 45 on the deck, but if you notice where the waterline meets, it's 100mm, which means a lot of the series battleships cannot pin this fucker, and it will actually bounce rounds off this thing. It's really, really nasty, and that's not including 425mm on the front plating of the guns. So basically, as long as this ship was pointing at a other ship, even a Tier 10, in most cases you're only dealing with 18 and 16-inch guns of the larger calibers. As long as you point in and they try to pin into, let's say, your superstructure and you're angled a little bit, they're going to bounce on this 150mm plating here and not do any damage. The only way they can pan is going through the top deck here, and in doing so, it's still going to have to deal with 150mm up there. The Citadel is 330mm. So yeah, good luck, you warship players. But enough of that, let's go into further detail in a match, shall we? And so some matches we had. I'm going to be showing some cutscenes while playing this game. Initially, when I thought about this ship, was pretty difficult, and I had some hard times getting into the ship. But then once I started realizing about the armor layout, then I started seeing a lot of these swinging matches of hitting massive damage and throwing massive pins into the structure. And that's what really made this ship shine. I can't even like say, oh my god, Raz, you're doing terrible in this ship. That's not the case. Like, initially I was having a hard time because every time I tried to put myself in this match, I kept thinking different styles like the Nelson and swinging it and zigzagging, and I really was like, no, this is not what this ship's doing because I'm not doing well. So I had to actually sit here and change my game style to the point actually where it started to become actually a workable system. So once I got that out of the way, things completely changed for me. And one of them was, you know, this part here. Like, here's a good example right here. So we have a good broadside of a ship right here. And what do we get? Yeah, just citadels for days. Now, here's the thing about the Russians. If you noticed, with some of these salvos. Some of the salvos, you notice, they're not doing that great well at further ranges. But once when I get into 12 kilometers, like I said, from this Des Moines scene right coming up right about here, yeah, just obliterate ships from there. Citadels for days. And stuff like that is really just absolutely powering this ship. Another thing is right about here. It's when you having a hot contested zone and you're getting chased by, let's say, a DD. You have a lot of secondaries. You got 152s and 100mm, and if you just put your position right and you do a pretty good build, you're going to get close quarters easily. The speed on this ship is quite well too. Almost going 30 knots, and a battleship that's got 16-inch guns makes this thing quite the potentially dangerous little foe to go against. So, that's all said and good with the armor and the guns. What's its weakness? Well, clearly the easiest weakness is getting focused. You cannot go alone. Unless you know what you're doing, you should not go alone. Because if you got ships on your flanks, on your sides, and everything else, that's where you're going to be in serious trouble. This ship and a lot of the Russians on the tech tree cannot withstand major attacks on its flanks. It's really good at going pointed nose or kiting and angling your armor to bounce the rounds. If you go to a set side or go to give a broadside a little bit, you're punished immediately. The good thing, though, you do have a quick way to getting repair parties, but remember, they're only limited. The Russian style is a limited heal and a limited repair, so that causes major problems. So, recommended immediately, get Superintendent for this thing. And a lot of the Russians right off the bat, you're going to need Superintendent. There's no way around that. No matter how much you want to smile and put some pretty rainbow colors onto this thing, you can't. You need Superintendent. You're going to need an extra repair party. You might need an extra heal. And doing so is going to mean a good run. And that's not including just this ship. All the Russian ships need that. So that's just bonus points you're going to need anyway. So it's a quicker way for getting your commander and getting that. Another nasty and terrible thing about this thing is you cannot be able to hit massive damage from range. It's not designed for that. The sweet spot always is just roughly around the 12 kilometer line. Once you get into 12 kilometers from a ship, that's where the broken part comes in. The guns start getting really ugly in dispersion of just laser accurate. But once it gets into the further ranges, that's where it starts turning into a shotgun and you pray RNG just to hit the target. But enough of that. Another thing we should point out is about the anti-air. Well, how is it? Well, I didn't put defensive fire. I didn't put a basic fire or advanced fire training on this ship because I'm designing it for the tier 10. And what do I get? Just godlike. It does sometimes not give you a very good AA. It's a hit and miss, but you do have 37s and 100 millimeters, as we said before, and sometimes I've had full squadrons get deleted. And definitely, I put the fighter up here. You're gonna need a fighter. It's no way you're gonna go around. You don't need a scout plane. You're not gonna shoot anything at max range. If you try doing it at max range, you're not gonna do much damage. You don't do that. The ship is not designed for that. The Russians are not designed for that. So you're going to need the anti-air with you, and the fighters are perfect team up with them. So overall, what about this ship? What do you think? It is a great training ship for Tier 8 coming out very soon for the Russian battleship line. I cannot say that this thing is worth a penny. It does give you a good credit green, but it also gives you a fantastic way of training your commander running for the new Russian battleship line. That's the key thing you need here. So basically, guys, I think that this is pretty much what is going to sum up for this video. So if you guys like this video, hit the like and dislike. But like I said before, this is what the new Lenin is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next Premium Spotlight. Take care.